In the annals of aviation history, few mysteries have captivated the world as much as the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. On the 8th day of March in 2014, a Boeing 777 took off from Kuala Lumpur, the heart of Malaysia, with Beijing as its intended destination. This wasn't an extraordinary flight. It was a routine journey, just another red-eye in the endless dance of global aviation. But this flight was destined to be anything but ordinary. Aboard the Boeing 777-200ER were 239 souls, each with their own stories, dreams, and destinations. 12 crew members, tasked with ensuring a smooth and safe journey, joined the 227 passengers, each of them blissfully unaware of the enigma that was about to unfold. The aircraft itself was a marvel of modern engineering, a Boeing 777-200ER. Known for its long-range capabilities and distinctive twin-engine design, it was a familiar sight in skies around the world. Yet, on that fateful day, this symbol of human achievement would become an emblem of one of aviation's most baffling mysteries. As the engines roared to life and the plane lifted off from the tarmac, the passengers and crew settled in for what they believed would be a routine flight. But as they climbed higher into the night sky, the familiar became unfamiliar. Routine turned into uncertainty, and certainty gave way to the unknown. As MH370 took off on that fateful day, little did anyone know that it was about to become one of aviation's greatest mysteries. As the night deepened, an unexpected deviation from the flight path occurred. The Boeing 777, known as Malaysia Airlines Flight 370, took a sudden, unexplained shift from its planned route. Jetting off from Kuala Lumpur with Beijing as its destination, the flight veered off course, crossing the length of the Malay Peninsula in a manner that no one could have anticipated. This was not a minor detour. No, the aircraft significantly strayed from its course, eventually disappearing over the vast expanse of the Andaman Sea. The deviation was not merely a blip or anomaly in the flight path. It was a substantial and alarming course change, one that sparked immediate confusion and concern among air traffic control and those monitoring the flight's progress. Imagine the scene. There, in the control room, the blip representing MH370 on the radar screen suddenly veers off its expected path. The confusion sets in, followed quickly by concern. The aircraft's deviation wasn't part of the plan. It wasn't in the flight path, and it wasn't making any sense. The situation escalated as the aircraft continued its off-course journey, crossing over the Malay Peninsula. It was as if the plane had a mind of its own, veering away from its set course, cutting across the night sky in a direction that led away from its intended destination. The air traffic controllers, the airline officials, the families waiting for their loved ones at Beijing Airport, all were left in a state of bewildered concern. This unforeseen deviation was more than just a flight anomaly. It was a signal that something was amiss, a sign that the routine flight from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing was anything but routine. And then, as swiftly and suddenly as it had deviated, the aircraft disappeared. The radar blip that was MH370 was no more. The plane had seemingly vanished into the vast expanse of the Andaman Sea, leaving behind nothing but a trail of questions, concerns, and a mystery that would perplex the world for years to come. The aircraft seemingly vanished, leaving only a trail of questions in its wake. In the wake of MH370's disappearance, a massive multinational search was launched. This was not a search as usual. It was a quest unprecedented in scale and scope. The world watched in anticipation as nations united, differences were set aside, and a common purpose took center stage. From the Pacific to the Indian Ocean, search teams combed through vast swathes of water and land, leaving no stone unturned. Leading the charge were Malaysia, Australia, and China, whose citizens made up the majority of the passengers on board. But they were not alone. The United States, United Kingdom, New Zealand, and several other countries also threw their hats into the ring, contributing resources, manpower, and expertise. The search was not just confined to the surface of the ocean. Deep-sea vessels were deployed, using sonar technology to probe the depths of the seabed, hoping against hope to find the wreckage. Aircraft and satellites scanned the surface, looking for any signs of debris. The operation was not just monumental in scale, but also in cost. Millions upon millions were poured into the search, making it the most expensive in aviation history. It was a testament to the value placed on human life and the need for closure, not just for the families of the victims, but for the world at large. But as days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the reality began to sink in. The vastness of the search area, the depth of the ocean, and the lack of concrete clues all conspired to make the task at hand incredibly daunting. The search was akin to looking for a needle in a haystack, except the haystack was the size of a continent, and the needle was at the bottom of the ocean. In the end, despite the Herculean efforts of all involved, the tangible results were few and far between. A few pieces of debris confirmed to be from the flight washed ashore in the Indian Ocean, providing a glimmer of hope. But the main wreckage and the black box, crucial to understanding what happened, remained elusive. Despite their best efforts, the search teams were left empty-handed. The mystery of MH370 continued to hang in the air, a haunting reminder of the enigmatic nature of the world we live in. In the absence of concrete evidence, numerous theories about the fate of MH370 began to surface. As the world grappled with the disappearance of the Boeing 777-200ER, speculation ran rampant. Theories sprouted from every corner of the globe, each more intriguing than the last. One such theory proposed was hypoxia, or the lack of sufficient oxygen. The idea was that the plane's cabin might have experienced a sudden depressurization, leaving those on board with a dwindling oxygen supply. This could have led to a state of confusion and unconsciousness among the crew, resulting in the plane continuing on an uncontrolled flight path until it eventually ran out of fuel. Another theory speculated on a possible hijacking scenario. The abrupt deviation from the flight path and the silencing of communication systems led some to believe that the aircraft might have been taken over by someone with ill intentions. However, despite the intrigue of these theories, no solid evidence has been found to support either. In the wake of these speculations, a wave of criticism emerged, particularly from the Chinese relatives of the passengers. The lack of official information and decisive action from the authorities was met with frustration and despair. The families felt left in the dark, their pleas for answers echoing in an information void. Despite the exhaustive search efforts and numerous theories, no definitive cause for the disappearance of MH370 has been determined. The missing aircraft remains one of the most baffling mysteries in aviation history, a puzzle with pieces still missing. Each theory added another layer to the growing enigma of MH370. Years have passed, but the mystery of MH370 remains unsolved. As time slips away, the story of Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 continues to be a riddle wrapped in a mystery inside an enigma. Despite the ceaseless efforts of experts and investigators, the elusive truth of what actually transpired on that fateful day in March 2014 remains hidden in the abyss of the unknown. In the years that followed the disappearance, the Indian Ocean bore silent testimony to the event, as debris confirmed to be from the flight washed ashore. These fragments, scarred by time and tide, provided tangible proof of the aircraft's fate. Yet, they held back the answers to the questions that plagued the world. Why and how did Flight MH370 deviate from its path, and where did it finally meet its end? The final report in 2018, a culmination of years of relentless search and investigation, fell short of providing definitive closure. The veil of uncertainty that shrouds the fate of the 239 souls aboard the ill-fated flight remains undisturbed. The lack of concrete evidence and irrefutable conclusions has left the door ajar for countless theories and speculations to flourish. While the mystery continues to linger, the incident has triggered a wave of safety reforms in the aviation industry. It has prompted the implementation of new safety recommendations designed to prevent such incidents in the future. The aviation world has been forced to learn a hard lesson, and it has responded by making changes that will hopefully safeguard the lives of passengers and crew in the years to come. The disappearance of MH370 serves as a poignant reminder of the vastness of our world and the enduring mysteries it holds.